Hello, this is Jim Maratsky from Leah Tech Support. I'd like to show you in this video how to create a registration form using Community Center's form component. You can use the form component for lots of different things, but this will hopefully show you how it works in general, and then you can modify your own application as necessary. With a form, what you need to do is first create the component, and then second, you create a page to host that component. And you can do those in either order. In this case, I've already created a page to host the form. Sometimes it's easier to do that first because then you can do some editing of the form by looking at it rather than just creating it. So we've started with a page here. Then the next thing I need to do is go to my Site Manager tools. And here in the Site Manager tools, there's a Form Manager. You can click on that, and we're going to add a new form here. So we'll use the Add a Form wizard. You always want to make sure that this box called Create Component is checked. You'll never use the application form. That's for other building custom applications that we do here. So in this case, I just need to give it a name. So we'll call it Registration Form. First screen that comes up is the security screen, and generally, unless you have very specific wacky needs, you don't need to make any changes there. The next form that comes up is the preferences form, and in this case we're going to decide who gets access to the form. Generally, again, you probably won't need to change many of these. If you just want regular anonymous users to access the form, then you can leave form access set to view. One of the other things that you need to decide is, do you want people to submit the form more than once in a session? And in this case we do. I'm going to check this box here, allow user to submit form more than once, and then put in this message box here the name of the button that folks will click on to start over again. So I'll say register another person. I already got that in there. That's cool. And then another thing that you need to do is put in a message about what happens when it displays when people complete the form. So I'll say thank you for registering. And that should be good for now. And you can also decide when to stop collecting data. The other decision we need to make here is, do we want to send the results of this form every time it gets submitted to somebody via email? And so maybe I do want to get this form sent to myself, so I'll just put my email address in there. You can send it to as many people. Just put a comma between the email addresses. So if I wanted to do a second person, I just type it in that way. But for now, I'll just leave it as myself. Okay. And there's a lot of other options here that I'll not cover in this video, but those are basically the most important parts. So I'll click Next down here at the bottom, and now I get to add elements. And elements are mostly questions that are asked as part of this registration process. So you can either add them one at a time using Add New Element here. You have all the various types of things that you can add to a form. You get a list element, which is a multiple choice. Text is a short answer. Memo is an essay question. You can upload files. You can do location maps and various other things. For right now, though, we're going to go straight to the wizard. I'm going to click Use Wizard here. And this just gives you a quick way to add some basics that most people add to a form. So in this case, we're going to need somebody's name, and we'll split it up into first name and last name. So if I check this box here at the beginning, add, that means it'll be on the form, and then if I check this box here, it means it's required. So people have to provide that. We'll also need an address, city, state, zip, and then maybe an email address here. And then that should do it for now. I think we'll stop there and just get that much information. So I'll submit that, and that just adds all of these questions into the form at this point. Now that I have some questions here, to me it's a lot easier to just go ahead and put it on the page so that I can see what it looks like, and then that'll help me adjust things for later. So I'm just going to go ahead and say Finish at this point. And then I'll go here and edit my page, and I need to go find a place where there is a large component view. In this particular template, it's down here, and I'll click Configure Component Views, then drop down this list here of Add Component Views, and I'm going to choose the Form View. So there's several different types of views for a form component. In this case, we're going to use the form view of the form component. And then I'm going to click Add or Edit View Properties to go and select which form I'm going to display here. So in this case, I'm going to choose the registration form that I just created. And here in the submit prompt, I might change it from submit to like register me or something like that. I can configure what that button says. And there again, there's more options here, but I don't need those. I'm just going to go ahead and submit this, and then click Use These Views to transfer this code that I've built over to the page, and then submit the page. And when I regenerate this page here, my registration form now shows up with all those questions that I asked before. So one of the first things that I notice about this form is that it doesn't really tell you what I'm registering for, and so I'd want to put some introductory text in here. And in order to do that, you do have to do some manual editing of an element into the space. So I'm going to click on Edit here. This Edit button up at the top allows me to quickly get to this form elements list again. And here from Add New Element, I'm going to choose a description element. Description just allows you to put text any place within the form, and so now we see it got added down at the bottom of the list of elements. And to edit it, I can just click on the type name here. So click on description. That pops up this window. Now, the first thing I need to do is give it a name, and I'm just going to call it intro. So that works. And then I've got several different boxes here. A description box, which means that text will show up in all different views of the form. There's an edit only that only shows up when folks are actually editing the form. And then there's a response. There's a type of view that you can do where folks see their responses before they actually commit them to the database. And in this case, we're only going to have we're only going to use the edit only box. So we're just going to put in here, please register for this special event by providing the information below. And also, the system doesn't really give you, you can require things, but you need to tell people what is required. So here I'm just going to say all fields are required, because that's what I did in my when I was adding them with the wizard. So I'll go ahead and submit that. Now this is at the bottom of the form, and actually I'd like to appear up at the top, so I'm going to just change this order number here to 1, and that will do that. And if I close this here, I need to manually refresh the form using the refresh button on the browser. Then I see that text shows up here. Now one of the other things that you need to do on every form, because there's a lot of robotic form fillers out there, and they'll just put gobbledygook into your form and submit it. Not really sure how that benefits them, but it's true. And so the other thing we would recommend that you do is add a verification question to the form. And that's just a different type of element. You go here and add a new element and click on verification, and that drops that verification here down at the bottom. And all that does is there's not really very many options for that, so you don't need to worry about that too much, but you can put that to your form, and basically it just adds a simple question that pretty much only a human can answer. So we'll run that here, and it generates a wide variety of questions, but in this case, which of these is an animal, cat, red, or school? And that just allows folks allows you to make sure that there's only humans filling out your form. So that's building a form. I hope that helps you in your website development. Please give us a call if you have any questions about how that works, and we'll be happy to help you customize your form for your own needs. Thanks.